All right, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Akeen, and welcome to today's second blog. Continuing things on with my Week 5 predictions and key matches in college football. I'm going to give you the remaining matches for you guys to watch. Start with tonight. Texas Tech is going to be traveling to Oklahoma State to face the number 24 Cowboys. Now, I think this is going to be a great shootout for you guys. Now, going to the defensive side for both of these two teams, 36.7 points per game allowed by Texas Tech compared to 24.3 allowed for Oklahoma State, and it came with a close loss to Florida State in Week 1 of this season. I'm going to have to go with the Cowboys in this one. Watch out for Tyreek Hill. I think he's going to be a good surprise player who will have a breakout season later on in the year. Next game we need to talk about, 3-1 Maryland against 2-1 Indiana. This is going to be the first Big Ten matchup for the Terrapins. This is going to be a good matchup for you guys. You guys must watch. And last week against Missouri, Indiana pulled off the upset, and they have a star running back in Tevin Coleman. So Maryland's going to have to look out for Coleman and keep an eye on him and just mainly focus on him. I'm going to have to go with the Terps in this one, pulling off their first game in the Big Ten Conference with a victory. Next game, an upset alert. Florida State, number 1 ranked team in the nation against 4-0 NC State. There's two more undefeated teams, and I think this is going to be a good game that you guys watch, particularly in the ACC. And a name that sounds very familiar, Jacoby Brissett from NC State. So far this season, 10 touchdown passes compared to just 1 interception. He's doing a great job orchestrating that offense for the Wolfpack. And I think that NC State can pull off this upset, and we have seen them pull upsets in recent seasons, particularly a couple years ago when they hosted the Seminoles. They had a couple of great games, and I think they could pull off this upset. But with Jameis Winston back at quarterback for Florida State, I'm going to have to go with the Noles in this one. And they do know, and they are alert of NC State and their high power offense with Brissett leading the way. Next game we need to talk about, Arkansas playing at number 6 Texas A&M. This is going to be a good game for you guys to watch because Arkansas is 3-1. And for the first half in Week 1 of the season against Auburn, they were going toe-to-toe with the Tigers, but then the Tigers just pulled things away in the second half. So this could be an upset alert for Texas A&M, but because of their spread offense and Kevin Sumlin's offense with Kenny Hill leading the way at quarterback, I think they're going to do a great job in this matchup and beat Arkansas in this game. Next game we need to talk about, the battle for the Little Brown Jug between Minnesota at Michigan. Both these two teams, this is their first game in Big Ten play, and I have to look at it in paper, the main weapon for Minnesota is David Cobb, and with their loss against TCU, the Horned Frogs just stopped David Cobb, and that's how TCU won this matchup. And that's going to have to be the same strategy for the Michigan Wolverines. I'm going to have to go with the Wolverines in this one. They just need to stop David Cobb. If they stop David Cobb, that offense pretty much shut down for Minnesota. So I'm going to have to go with the Wolverines over the Gophers. Next game, an upset alert. Number 16 Stanford is going to be traveling to Washington to face the 4-0 Huskies. Now, earlier in this season, Stanford lost to USC. That was a big upset, just 13-10. But the defense has been playing tremendously. They've been playing great. They're actually only averaging 4.3 points per game, including 2 shutouts. Those 10 points came from that USC game, but the other 2 games, they were complete goose eggs, and they have a great defense. But they're playing against an interesting offense. And Chris Peterson's offense for Washington. I do like Chris Peterson's offense, but I think that defense for Stanford is going to be just enough. Even though there are question marks for the Cardinal offense, they're not really too much effective within the red zone. They're going to have to do a better job. But for this game, I think the defense is probably going to commit a couple of turnovers for Washington. This is going to be the toughest task already in the season for the Huskies, but I think that Stanford's going to pull out the victory due to the defense. I think they're going to commit a couple of turnovers in this game. Next game, we need to talk about Missouri. Is going to be traveling to South Carolina to face the number 13 Gamecocks. Now, last season, South Carolina pulled off an upset last season at Missouri, and Mizzou is actually looking to avenge that loss. Even in this, also due to the fact that Missouri lost last week, and they're trying to take all that frustration out on South Carolina. But I'm going to have to go with the Gamecocks in this one because last week the Gamecocks did pull off a good upset, and that was my upset pick of the week. against the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm going to have to go with South Carolina in this one, winning a home victory. Next game, a pretty much of a neutral site, but pretty much home field advantage for Syracuse, as they're going to be hosting Notre Dame. Now, the game is going to be at MetLife Stadium. That is the home stadium for both the New York Jets and the New York Giants. And I think because it's Syracuse, they're just around the corner from MetLife Stadium, so it's still a home field advantage for the Orangemen. Now, this could be an upset alert as well, because I think they have a pretty good underrated quarterback in Terrell Hunt, a good dual threat quarterback. He was actually leading the team and running the football, but he only has one touchdown pass compared to multiple touchdown passes from Everson Golston. I'm going to have to go with Everson Golston and the Fighting Irish remaining undefeated for the season. Next game we need to talk about, Nebraska is going to be hosting Illinois. Illinois only has the one loss to Washington early in the season, 44-19. And Nebraska had a big win last week against the U Miami. And Amir Adela rushed for over 200 yards. Look out for him to have another big game against the Fighting Illini. I'm going to have to go with Nebraska over Illinois in this matchup. And last but not least, Oregon State's going to be traveling to USC to face the number 18 Trojans. And this game is my upset game of the week. I think that Sean Manion, the quarterback for the Beavers, is going to pull off the upset in this one. Even though Trojans have a great high-power offense, I think the Oregon Ducks is going to do enough job holding on to the football and executing, and through Manion's passing ability. He's actually one of my prospects for the 2015 NFL Draft, and I think he could pull off the upset. So I'm going to have to call with the Beavers over the Trojans as my upset game of the week to wrap up today's vlog. Now, the next time I'm going to catch you guys will be on Monday, where I will give you a recap of Week 5 of the 2014 season. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching today's vlogs from the Football Source. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.